You are trapped in a conversation at a generic social gathering. The person across from you is nodding enthusiastically, talking about their authentic self or the weather, and smiling so hard their molars are visible. While they speak, your brain is doing something horrifying. It is physically repelling the interaction. You feel a tightness in your chest, a desperate need to bolt, and a level of irritation that borders on physical pain. You aren't just bored, you are actively revolted. You look around the room and see a sea of people performing, posturing, and pretending, and you think, I hate everyone. Let's pump the brakes. It's not depression, it's not social anxiety, and it's definitely not that you are a bad person. You aren't a misanthrope plotting the downfall of humanity from a dark basement. You don't actually hate people. You hate the performance of people. There is a massive biological difference. Your brain is not malfunctioning. It is currently running a high-speed filtering algorithm that the rest of the room is too slow to process. You are experiencing a cognitive rejection of inefficiency and inauthenticity, and frankly, it's exhausting. Society has been completely wrong about you. The world is designed for the loud, the shallow, and the people who can talk for 40 minutes about absolutely nothing. We live in a culture that rewards the golden retriever personality, bouncy, universally friendly, and easily amused by shiny objects. If you aren't that, society labels you as difficult, intimidating, or aloof. They tell you to smile more. They tell you to just be nice. It is gaslighting on a global scale. You have spent your life feeling like an alien anthropologist dropped onto a planet of bad actors, wondering why everyone else bought a script you never received. You assume there is something wrong with your hardware because you can't tolerate the static. But here is the reality. You're not broken. You're just built different. You are the only person in the room hearing the music correctly, and unfortunately, everyone else is playing out of tune. Let's look at the mechanics, because the math just works differently for you. This reaction starts in the Anterior Cingulate Cortex, ACC. This is the part of your brain responsible for error detection and conflict monitoring. Think of the ACC like a spell check for reality. In most people, this spell check is set to a very loose setting. It ignores typos, glosses over grammatical errors, and lets the social lies slide for the sake of harmony. Your ACC, however, is stuck on the ruthless editor setting. When someone smiles but their eyes are dead, your brain flags it as an error. When someone says they are fine but their micro-expressions scream insecurity, your brain flashes a red warning light. Furthermore, we have to talk about your mirror neuron system. These are the neurons that allow you to empathize by simulating the actions and emotions of others. Think of mirror neurons like Bluetooth pairing. Most people have a weak signal. They only pair if they are really trying. You, however, have high-fidelity, industrial-strength Bluetooth that auto-connects to everyone in range. You aren't just hearing their words. You are downloading their hidden anxiety, their suppressed anger, and their desperate need for validation. This is why you hate everyone. You aren't reacting to them. You are reacting to the sensory overload of processing their lies and their hidden emotional data simultaneously. You are a 4K television trying to display a VHS tape, and the resolution mismatch is giving you a headache. But here's where it gets interesting. This intolerance for people is actually a superpower. It is a highly evolved integrity scanner. You are a biological lie detector. Spoiler alert, evolution doesn't care about you being nice. It cares about you surviving. In the wild, the person who could detect a fake smile or a hidden agenda was the person who didn't get stabbed in the back by a rival tribe member. Your brain treats inauthenticity as a threat because, historically, it was. You possess a trait psychologists call social homeostasis, or the regulation of social energy. Most people are like leaky buckets. They need constant external validation, water, to feel full. You are a sealed vault. You don't need the external pour to feel complete. So when people try to force their validation-seeking behaviors on you, it feels like an intrusion, not a gift. You aren't antisocial, you are selectively social. You have an extremely high threshold for connection and an extremely low tolerance for fluff. You require high bandwidth communication, deep, real, raw data. And when you get low bandwidth small talk, your brain treats it like spam email. You are deleting it to save drive space. This pattern recognition machine you call a brain likely came online very early. Maybe you grew up in a chaotic environment where you had to read the room to survive. Or maybe you come from a long line of skeptical ancestors. Either way, your brain learned to predict behavior. This is predictive coding. Your brain is constantly generating models of how people should act. When people act in predictable, authentic ways, your brain relaxes. When they act in polite, fake ways, there is a prediction error. Wild, right? You aren't judging them morally, you are judging them computationally. You see the pattern of their behavior, you project it forward, and you realize the interaction yields zero value. You are efficient. You have stripped away the social veneer that keeps society greased and decided you would rather have friction than fiction. You spot the tiger in the grass, while everyone else is admiring the flowers. The hate you feel is just your brain slamming the door to protect your sanctuary. Congratulations! Because of this high-functioning radar, you have developed some hilarious and specific micro-habits. You probably have an exit strategy for every room you enter before you even take off your coat. You likely experience a rush of dopamine, actual chemical bliss, when plans get canceled, which is better than any drug on the market. You might find yourself staring at a piece of furniture at a party just to avoid making eye contact, or hiding in the bathroom checking your phone, not because you have messages, but because the bathroom is the only place where no one is performing. You can hear the silence in a conversation and feel comfortable, while watching the other person panic and fill it with nonsense. Your furniture judges you for how much time you spend alone, but honestly, your furniture is better company than 90% of the population. Here is the uncomfortable truth. You are never going to be the person who loves blindly, and that is fine. Here is your permission slip to stop trying. Stop forcing your high-resolution brain to process low-resolution data. You are allowed to be the bouncer of your own life. You are allowed to keep the velvet rope up. The world doesn't need more people pretending to like each other. It needs more people who are capable of seeing the truth. You are the sentinel. You are the filter. Embrace the fact that you require substance. If that makes you hate the fluff, then hate away. The right people, the ones who are also broadcasting in 4K, will eventually find you, and the connection will be effortless. Until then, enjoy the silence. If this video just explained your entire life, don't scroll. The next video explains why your laziness is actually just high-functioning burnout recovery, and why you should probably take a nap.